starting to walk on the corner of Cedar and Trinity, just west of 𝗂𝘂𝗰𝗨 Park. These trees are tiny little 𝗂𝘂𝗰𝗨 Park with a lot of food truck and picnic traffic during the lunch hour. You look just a little bit up Trinity, right where that tree is, there's another cross street that heads to the memorial. That's Liberty Street. I prefer to walk on Cedar, and I'll show you why in just a minute. As far as drop-off locations are concerned, you're not going to get very close. You're going to have to do some walking no matter what. In years past, I was getting dropped off sometimes on the west side or the back end of Trinity Church. But that area right now, in spring 2022, is way too narrow because of construction lanes for coaches to pull over. I also tend to include this memorial within a lower Manhattan or financial district walk, and so I'm very often tagging this on to an extended walk from Battery Park. But you're going to notice when we get up to this corner that a lot of the streets up here are pedestrianized, so you're not going to be able to get a vehicle very close. That white domed building, this is St. Nicholas. It's a Greek Orthodox church that just has a little bit more reconstruction due on it, and I think it's expected to be rededicated in a few weeks. It was also damaged during the September 11 attacks. And this is the reason that I like to walk on Cedar when I'm coming in. I like to enter this way because this building right here on the right has an additional memorial. This is the New York Fire Department's memorial to its members that were lost on the attacks, during the attacks on September 11. And at the very, very end there, that little white plaque there, are photos and names of their members that were lost. This gives you a chance to talk about non-national memorials within the city of New York. You're seeing the beginning of the pedestrianized area here. It gives you a little bit more flexibility with where you stand to speak with your guests. There's really not much traffic in this area beyond security and the fire department. There's Liberty Street, the other one I mentioned that you could access walking over this way. I tend to prefer crossing the street here and finding some space underneath the trees in the shade. It's a little cooler during the warmer months. It's a little quieter as well. There's a whole length here that you can use. If you look up this way, that's the direction of the Oculus entrance, as well as the entrance to the museum, the September 11 Museum. That direction heads towards the Hudson River. We are on the southern end of the memorial. The two footprints are referred to as the north and the south footprints for the towers. We are at the base of the south right now. You'll notice that there's a park, actually, an elevated park, and that gold ball is part of the memorial space as well. That's the sphere. There's actually not a tremendous amount of quiet here, as you're noticing. there is a good amount of open space. You can see that there's a large group just down the way there being released to explore. Those slightly stepped spaces there are good if you want to sit them down and have a conversation. Now walking into the memorial proper, we're heading in the northerly direction. Again, this is the southern tower footprint. And that building right there is the the museum. You're only seeing the above level. There's a phenomenal amount underground. That tree there to the left with the fencing around the base is the survivor tree. This side of the museum here, the doors that you're seeing are for exit only. The entrance is on the other side, the opposite side. I'll show you that in a bit. You're going to be able to start seeing the rooftop of the Oculus just through the trees there, just above the trees. And the north tower footprint just here. If you are taking guests to the observation tower, the platform atop of One World Trade, you'll be accessing it in a space that you cannot see through the trees, but the doorway is on the corner there with West Street. I'll have another video showing you how to enter. And here's the Oculus. And the front entrance of the museum. Looking down to the corner with Liberty. Again, that's the direction we came from. You can just see the fire barn. You can tell that it's lunchtime. Again, a fair amount of food trucks and booths out. Some live music. If you don't want to spend the time exploring the Oculus, but you want your guests to have an opportunity to see the amazing interior, you can have them pop in just here on this side through these doors. I'll show you when we walk around. I'll look through the window, but there's a little platform, a little viewing platform that they can access very quickly, and then come right back out and continue your walk towards that clump of trees. Do you see the steeple coming through that clump of trees there? And there is the viewing platform inside the Oculus. And that steeple in the clump of trees is St. Paul's. And you could be picked up there with a coach on Broadway, right in front of St. Paul's.